Hello viewers, I hope you all guys are doing well. Our topic is Introduction to Client Server Network. Client server network grew in the popularity during the 90s as personal computer became the alternative to mainframe computer. Client server networking referred to the computer networking model that used both client hardware device and the services, each with the specific functions. The client server model can be used to internet as well as on the local area network. Examples of the client-server system on the Internet include web browser and the web servers, FTP clients and the servers, and the DNS. Client and server hardware. Client device are typically PCs with the network software application installed on the request, and they receive information over the network. In the addition, mobile services function and the client services store file and the database, including complex application, and the website services typically features higher powered central processor and more memory and the longer disk drive than client services. Client server application. The client server model organization network tracing using a client application and client devices network client and the messages to the server to make request of its server respond to the client by acting each request and returning the result on server support. Many clients and the multiple server can be networked together in a server pool to handle increasing processing needs at the number of the client growth. A client computer and a server computer, two separate units of the hardware and the customized of a design purpose. For example, a client works best in a large screen display, while a web server does not need a display and can be located anywhere in the world. In some cases, however, a device can function as a client and the server for the same application. Additionally, a service is the server for an application or the simultaneously act as a client to other services to the different applications. Some of the most popular applications of the internet follow the client-server model, including email, FTP, and the web services. Each of these clients feature a graphic of the text-based user interface and a clip application that connect with the client to the server. In the case of the email and the FTP, users enter a computer name into the interface to set up a connection to the server. Local client server network. Many home networks use client-server system of a small scale broadband routine. For example, contain a DHCP server provide IP address to the home computer to the DHCP client. The other type of the network server found in a home include print server and the backup server. Advantages of the client server model. The client-server model of the network was initially developed to share access to database applications with many users compared to the mainframe model. Client-server network has better flexibility because connection can be made on the demand as and needed rather than being fixed. The client-server model support um, modular application that can make the job creating software easier. In the two-tier and the three-tier types of the client-server system, software applications are separated are modular component, and each component is installed on the client server specialized at the system. Client server versus peer-to-peer. Client-server networking is the approach to the managing network application. The primary alternative to the client-server networking. Peer-to-peer networking treats all the devices having equivalent capability rather than the specialized client or server rules. Compared to the client network, peer-to-peer network are advantage user flexibility in the expanding the network to handle large number of the clients. Client-server networks advantages peer-to-peer network such as the ability to manage application and the data in a centralized location. How to enable client to the Microsoft networks. Introduction of the business computer networks. Introduction to computer networks adopters. Understanding interface model in the wireless network. Introduction to computer network speed, a brief introduction to computer network security, introduction to the P2P network, introduction to Ethernet network technology, introduction to information and technology, introduction to making wireless network connection, introduction to network cables, introduction to power line, home network and the home plugs.